Jake Stoops.
That's a good job.
So Drake, I'm gonna start out and I'm gonna ask, have you arrived?
Shake and bake Stoops dives, touched it.
No, never. Never arrive. It's always an ongoing journey.
What is Boomer Sooner?
I'd say Boomer Sooner is it's definitely like a culture.
Boomer!
It's a community. And you mentioned the Red River rivalry. And Boomer Sooner is like bleeding crimson, and you can't stand burnt orange.
Second down and 10 to the 25. Rattler again to throw it. Steps up in the pocket. Throws on the run.
I grew up living that way, and definitely playing for Oklahoma, I felt that way.
What has it meant to you to play for the Sooners, but really the state of Oklahoma?
Growing up as a kid, those were like Superman and Batman to me. Those were my idols growing up. So seeing them play, I instantly knew as a kid I wanted to, be like them. Whether that was just to play football in general, and I just had a love for the game. And as I grew up and realized I had a chance, having the opportunity to play for Oklahoma meant the world to me. And being able to play for the university and give back to a place that gave so much to me, even as a kid, it meant a lot to me.
When did you start to have that vision that you wanted to be out there?
I don't even, probably 5 or 6. I was young. I'd be trying to recreate all the crazy catches that I'd see the receivers make, whether it was Malcolm Kelly or Mark Clayton way back in the day, Ryan Broyles as I got older, Kenny Stills. I'd be throwing the ball up to myself, jumping over the couch, acting like it was the end zone, doing all kinds of things because I wanted to be like them. I also saw how hard they had to work to get to where they were at and the commitment it took. I was very fortunate to be around an atmosphere like that, to see what it took, because then I knew what I had to do, and maybe even take it a step further, because I might not always have been the fastest runner or the highest jumper. So I was willing to do whatever it took to make it there.
Was football non-negotiable? Some homes it's like, hey, you're playing this sport.
No. I mean, football wasn't a non-negotiable. I think just because my dad coached it, I inevitably just kind of fell in love with the game, being around it so much. But I mean, they wanted us to play as many sports as we could. We played basketball all the way through high school, football obviously, and we tried baseball. I wasn't the biggest fan. It's a little bit slower. It's really hard to sit in there and hit the ball. It takes a lot of skill in that regard. I'm trying to get into golf. It's more frustrating than anything. But yeah, that, and then we even wanted to play soccer at one point. Shoot, Isaac wanted to play hockey. We just not many hockey rinks in Oklahoma. So, but yeah, so they encourage us to play everything. So I think all sports teach you different athletic traits that can all apply to each sport. So
you chose to stay here. Why?
Yeah, no, I had scholarships coming out of high school to other schools, and some good schools that I really did consider for a long time. And I think I just kept coming back to that childhood dream of they weren't as big a school as Oklahoma, and I kept coming back to that childhood dream of playing in front of 85,000, 90,000 people. And I knew that even though Oklahoma didn't want to offer me a scholarship, I knew what I had inside me, and I also knew kind of like the knack I had for the game. I knew even if I wasn't ready right away, I knew I could get ready and I could play at that level. And I think that dream was too big to give up. Some people might think that everything was, given to me, or the only reason I play at OU would be because my dad. And, interesting thing is, if my dad was coaching at Oklahoma when I came out of high school, I don't think I would have gone there, just because of that chip on my shoulder, and also just how people like to discredit other people's success. And yeah, but no, it's earned, not given. And I feel like it doesn't matter what anyone thinks or says, and I've always felt that way.
What are some of the things that your dad instilled?
I think through just watching him, I think it was admirable, the example that he set. It was an example I always wanted to emulate in terms of being a family man, being a good man, always respecting all people, being good to everyone, you know, whether I think that's like the measure of a man is the way he treats someone who can do absolutely nothing for him. Like that is I heard that one time and that really struck a chord with me because I know some men like that, whether it's my dad, you know, Coach Venables, even Coach McVay on the Rams, like the way they treat people, I think that goes a long way. And so that as well as, you know, just looking at his, you know, success in his career and the hard work he put in, the time and effort he put in, and even the toll it took on him sometimes, I think that instilled in me that, you know, hard work works and it's worth it and it'll pay off in the end. And that perseverance works too. And fighting through adversity will only strengthen you and build your character, even though it is hard sometimes.
In your words, what is legacy?
I think legacy is like, I think it's the mark like that you leave on a place or a group, you know, like a stamp you put on it, and people like remember what their legacy was in a place. I mean, I just keep coming back to it. I think that whether it's my teammates, I just want them to remember me for being a good teammate. My friends to remember me for being a good friend. My family remember me for being a good son, a good brother. You know, things like that. For just being a good person who was always trying to make, you know, the world a better place, make their lives a little bit easier, spread some joy, spread some light, and even when the times I don't, maybe they'll spread it for me and they'll pick me up, and that's why they're there. So
Sometimes keeping it simple is most effective.
no doubt, yeah. Sometimes privacy and stillness is a little bit better than all the chaos that's out there.